So we all know it's graduation season, and it seems as though this one person graduating seemed to ruffle a few people's feathers. And we're going to get into that. All right, man. So Carmelo Anthony was able to graduate, and it ruffled a few people's feathers. And it's not the people that you probably would have thought who feathers got ruffled. Yeah, it was part of our own community. And they really didn't have very much good things to say. And they didn't really have very good knowledge of the situation and the way they tried to phrase the situation. But also, Austin Metcalf was able to, well, was it? No, yeah, Austin Metcalf was given a diploma, and Hunter Metcalf was able to walk across the stage and accept his brother's diploma. Let's check out that video.
Hunter Metcalf. Hunter Metcalf will accept a posthumous diploma in honor of his brother, Austin Metcalf. Yes! Yes! All in, baby! All in!
Okay, I know y'all probably looking for the video of Carmelo Anthony walking across the stage and receiving his diploma. Well, you're not going to get it here because it's not going to happen. They did not allow him to do any of the festivities as far as graduating, but they did let him receive his diploma. And a lot of people were upset because they don't understand how he was able to get his diploma. They didn't understand that he had a 3.7 grade point average, and he also had all the credits worthy of him to graduate. They cannot take his diploma away from him. He had all the credits and he had everything needed to graduate. So they had to allow him to graduate. But it is special privileges to be able to do ceremonies, go to parties, so they can take that away from him. But they cannot take his diploma away. They can't do that. He worked hard enough to get enough credits for him to receive that. But we're going to get into a few uninformed people, or a couple of uninformed people, and see how they go on their little rant about the situation. And we're going to talk about it. So let's check out the first one.
Let me get this right. Did I hear what I heard? The school is backtracking on expelling Carmelo Anthony and allowing him to graduate. Is my ears working right now? Is my eyes actually functioning? That a person that is convicted of killing another individual is not being expelled, but the reward is that you get to finish high school? I know people that had a small amount of anything, of bad stuff in school, and they got expelled instantly. Because it's not supposed to be on school grounds. So let me make this right. A person's life is gone that doesn't get to graduate. Right? And Anthony unalives that person and he gets to graduate. Let me make sure this is clear. You've had a reduced bond to $180,000. So you only paid, I believe it was that, $20,000, $25,000 to get out of jail. Then on top of that, you got to be home on house arrest, right? Then on top of that, you raised over $500,000. Then on top of that, right? Now, you get to graduate high school after someone's life is gone.
As you can tell, he don't know nothing of what he is talking about. He got his bond reduced to 250,000, which is 10% of that, which is 25,000. He said 180,000 and you had to pay 20 to 25,000. Yeah. All right. Now, he also stated, is he hard of hearing? I don't know if he's hard of hearing or not, or if his ears ain't working or his eyes ain't working. But he also stated that Karmelo Anthony was convicted. They haven't even went to trial yet. In fact, the trial starts on Monday, June 1st. So he was wrong on that as well. He just going on a rant about a whole bunch of things that he knows nothing about. So once again, like I stated earlier, Karmelo Anthony was able to graduate and get his diploma because he had already finished what was needed to get his diploma. He had enough credits and a high enough GPA to finish school early. So those other people that he were talking about that got expelled, that means that they were not able to get enough credits and allowed for them to be able to graduate. It's not that hard. It's not that simple. I've seen people do it all the time. But let's check out the next one, who also had a few things to say. And he was basically talking about a whole lot of allegations and using them as if they were facts. He really thought that he was saying something that was factual, when all he did was read the affidavit and the allegations. Let's see what he had to say.
Karmelo Anthony is scheduled to graduate. I wonder what that privilege is called. So here in America, you can be a teenager, bring a knife to a track meet with a bunch of high schoolers, go where you're not supposed to go, then get told to leave because you're not supposed to be there, then threaten to do something, and then go ahead and stab someone in the heart, taking their lives, get $600,000 plus because you took that said person's life, get your bond set to $1 million, then get it reduced to a quarter of that, get released to go home and live lavish in a new home, new cars, $600,000 richer, and then while the other family is torn apart because of what you did, you get to carry on with your life as if nothing happened. You can go ahead and graduate while being under investigation for taking someone else's life, but you still go on to graduate because you're black.
This man just said Karmelo Anthony is pretty much getting black privilege. Wow. I done heard it all at this point, because I know that for a fact that he didn't really do research, because had he done research, he would have known that 2 years prior, there was another student in Texas who decided to take a, matter of fact, let me put this image up right here. Yeah, this one right here, right? That right there. Yeah, this area right here. Yeah. Casey Allison, right? He not only took a knife to school, he planned and told his friend that he was going to use that knife when he got into a fight with the person that he actually used the knife on. Now, Casey Allison got his bail reduced and was able to go home, was also able to graduate and get his diploma. And not even that, he was not found guilty of premeditated unaliving. They found him guilty of negligent homicide, where the judge served him to 10 years, if I'm not mistaken, for the crime. Now, he willingly took the knife to school. He also told a friend days prior that he had the knife and that he planned on using the knife once he got into a fight with the victim who he stabbed not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but 5 times. And he called it self-defense. And the other student only had his fist and didn't connect not one time on Case and Allison. And right after it happened in the high school bathroom, he went home like ain't nothing happened. They had to go to his home to arrest him. But they wasn't having no worries or no outcries about this situation. Wasn't no public media about this. Why? Because it was a Caucasian who unalived a Hispanic. You know, ain't no fanfare behind that. Ain't no social media uprising. Ain't nothing behind that. No. Ain't nobody up in arms and outraged about that type of a situation. But when you have a young black guy and a young Caucasian, oh yeah, social media is going to erupt. You're going to have politicians. You're going to have all these people coming out the woodworks to get their name out there. So when these people come and talk about situations and don't bring up other situations that are very similar, and when you do bring up situations that are very similar, they sweep it up under the rug like it's nothing. So have that same energy. Have that same energy. Hold everybody accountable. Right? Now, Karmelo Anthony is going to have to suffer the consequences for his actions. That is what he is going to have to do. But to act as if Hunter, I'm going to say Hunter because he was a part of this too, and Austin Metcalf was just these innocent bystanders who didn't do anything wrong at all. Nah. All Austin and Hunter had to go and do was go and get an adult and allow them to handle the situation instead of taking it on them upon themselves to be the enforcer. And maybe none of this would ever happen. Who would ever know? But what I will tell you is, it is best to keep your hands to yourself because you don't know what the other person is thinking, how the other person is feeling, and how they are going to respond. Once you act, you cannot tell the person how to respond. It just doesn't work that way. Of course, we can talk about it later and have revisionist thoughts after we already know what the outcome is. But during that moment, during that time, you know, it's up to the skies. And it's the limit. Or it's no limit at all. Now, that's my thoughts on this. I'll let know your thoughts on this. You can let me know your thoughts on this by dropping down in the comment section, leaving a comment. I highly appreciate it. And also, you can hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I highly appreciate that. And it should be a video right here. Click on that video. I highly appreciate it. And with that being said, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Why? Because I am up out of here. Peace.